Well, good evening and welcome to the Arbor Hills Nature Preserve in Plano, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the Coast SPG500 safety glasses right here. You can see them next to a couple of other types of glasses that I use frequently. If you have not seen any of my other videos, I'll point out that my primary use case is wilderness search and rescue. So I wear safety glasses out at night all the time. Now, these glasses have a spotlight built in, 135 lumen, high-low mode. You charge in this end, power here. Now I'll point out that you really have to press right where the power symbol is. You cannot press off to the side. So that may be an issue for me over time because I do a lot of work in winter, so it's a requirement that all my gear function well with gloves on. I'm just going to have to wait and see how well that works over time. Now, you'll notice that you have soft rubber here, so I'm going to be evaluating how well that holds up over time. That's just going to take months and months of evaluation. Tonight I'm going to see just how comfortable it is. It's Texas, it's July 4 weekend, it's 90 degrees outside, so I'm going to go out for at least an hour to an hour and a half tonight and see how well this holds up in an uncomfortable environment. Now, the glasses supposedly have an anti-fog coating. I did test that indoors by putting a mask on, breathing, which normally fogs my sunglasses up really quick. Oh, these did a pretty good job of holding up. That's just a simple indoor test. I'm going to have to get it out in late fall, early winter, probably out at the LBJ grasslands. And again, we'll see how well all of that holds up. But tonight, it's going to be an extended fit, comfort, and function test, and I'm going to really push this light outside of its design envelope, outside of its comfort zone. We're going to take it out here in the preserve and see what it can really do. Well, here we are at the infamous bridge, and if you've seen it in my other videos out here at the preserve, this is typically where I do mode tests. I have the coast light on. I also have my headlamp on 400 lumen flood. So let me turn the headlamp off. Now, that is just the coast light in high mode, 135 lumen peak. And for something that's advertised for very close quarters work, I'm fairly impressed. Now, it's kind of like reaching up to your temple, then you have to locate that that power symbol by feel, and then one press, that's low. So low is of course for very, very close quarter work, and then next press will be off. If you hear booming in the background, that's fireworks. They'll be going on for at least another 20 minutes. This is one example of how I might use a light like this in a search process. So, here's a turnout, and let's say I see something reflective out in there, and I don't want to blast hundreds of lumens from my headlamp. In fact, I've only got my headlamp on 100 lumen flood right now. I have the coast light on, so let me turn the headlamp completely off. Now, that's nothing but the coast light. So I can look at something off in the distance that's reflective, and perhaps while I'm still at a distance, I can make an identification, and I'm completely hands-free. So there's a lot of benefit to that. I don't want to just run off and start searching down there. Quite honestly, my buddies Carl Copperhead and Marvin Moccasin hang out down there, and well, I call them my buddies, but if I get down there and disturb them, they'll be anything but. So I'm going to move on through the preserve. We'll do a few more tests, and we'll see if this light continues to perform. Okay, could I use this light to follow a nice groomed pathway in the event of a pathological failure in all my lighting systems? Again, I have the coast light on, I have my headlamp on in a low flood, so let's simulate my headlamp going out. Oh, I just lost my headlamp. Now the only thing I've got working for me is the coast light, again totally hands-free, and you can see that for making my way along a nice groomed pathway, the light is perfectly adequate. I do have some downrange visibility. Of course, it's not a headlamp or a headlamp replacement, but in the event you have a catastrophic failure of a lighting system, this could be very useful, and again, it keeps me totally hands-free. This is going to be hard to shoot because the camera is actually in front of the light, so I have to worry about shadows. Now I have my headlamp on a low spot, but it's angled more outward. I'm trying to light down with the coast, and this is on low mode. So what this bench simulates is an injured person, and I'm trying to just focus the right amount of light on a specific area that I'm rendering first aid. So to me, this is a very important test. This is something that I might typically use a mini EDC light attached to or clipped onto the headlamp strap on my bump helmet. But yeah, I'd say the coast is working really well here. Then of course I just have to move my head slightly upward to see downrange with my headlamp, and then back to what I'm doing. So this is probably the most important test for me, was would this system be useful for rendering first aid to an injured person. Well, in most of my other videos I do a wrap up here. This is an interesting distance test. This creek ends just to the left, goes out and then out to the left. It's about 50 yards to the tree line beyond the edge of the water, and I'm just using the coast light right now, and I do have some visibility to that opposite, we'll call it a shoreline. So for 135 lumen safety glass light, in this mode, I'm really impressed. So I'm going to head back to the truck, and then I'll do my final wrap up of this first phase of testing. All right, we're back. I've been out just over an hour and 15. I want to share some observations with you. Now, I wore these glasses with my bump helmet tonight, and I'm wearing my bump helmet right now to complete filming. And I want to point out two things. My bump helmet comes right along this edge. So if you want to activate the power switch, you don't want to get in a habit of bringing your hand in from the side. That helmet may block it off. What you want to do is move your hand almost vertically up the side of your face and approach the power switch from there. Second, and this happens with every single pair of safety glasses, my bump helmet presses down on this part of the frame. Now this is very soft, but this part right here is hard. And so what happens is this section right here gets pushed down into my ear. And yeah, when I took them off, I really felt that. So I think the functionality is fantastic. The fit without a helmet is decent, but I would say to continue using these, what I would probably do is I would take some of this surface off, and I may even wrap this section right here in hockey tape to soften it up a bit, because my belief is with this type of a setup. If I was out for, 3 to 6 hours like I am sometimes, this would just be absolutely unacceptable. So it's a great idea, great functionality. I absolutely love the light. I want to find a way to make this work, but I'm going to have to apply a couple hacks to make it work with my bump helmet. So I'm going to try that out, wear them for another few months. I'll come back sometime in late fall or early winter, do a cold weather evaluation, and then we can close the books on this particular unit. Okay, bonus segment. Here it is, just looking around the truck. I don't have my bump helmet on, so the comfort level is quite fine. I only have it pressing down in my ears when I have my helmet on. So I just thought I'd show you a quick look around the truck. There we go. As always, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.